gives you enough information where you can figure out if you're interested or not, okay? To carry on Father's talk today, and the whole overarching theme of today's meeting is vocations. To be called, the call. The way I always thought of a vocation is, guys, is you receive a phone call from God. God is constantly trying to call us, and we make the choice whether to pick up the phone or not. And part of living out your vocation, whether it's being a repairman, an engineer, a student, we all have a vocation right now of being a student, is staying on the phone line with God while you're living out that action. So God is calling us, we have to answer, and then it's up to us how long we stay on the phone. Even if you hear the call and you say, yes, I want to answer the call. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a nun. Whatever it is, you have to continue to live out that vocation by staying on the phone with God. We're going to show a brief video. Everyone, come on, over here. We're going to show a brief video. It's on vocations and on discernment. The video was made for people discerning the priesthood, but the overarching themes that they talk about of discernment are true for all vocations. Even discerning what college you're supposed to go to, what high school you're supposed to go to. Many of my friends have made lifelong decisions when they were 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, whether it was in business or in family. You guys are getting to the point where you're starting to make some big decisions. And God needs to be a part of that so that those decisions can have a very peaceful effect on your entire life. So I ask for your complete attention to the entire video, especially this group up here. Arlene, you can go ahead. Hey everybody, I have a couple things I want to say before we can get going, and the sooner I say them, the sooner you can get to the Super Bowl. But, a couple things to touch on from Father Martin's talk and from that video. Young people, we want to do something remarkable. We want to be something remarkable. None of you wake up and just say, I just want to be okay today. I just want to be mediocre. You want to be the best. You don't go into taking a test hoping to fail. You go in hoping for an A. You don't make a new friend hoping that they just think you're okay. You want to make a new friend because you want them to be your friend. You want them to love you. You want to love them. The Christian vocation, the vocation of being a Christian, the call, Haley, the call to be a Christian is something remarkable. It's something where every day, when you wake up, you get a call from God that says, I want you to be amazing. Because I created you to be amazing. Because I love you. Because I see in you the ability to change the world. St. Catherine of Siena said that if we become who we were meant to be, we can set the world ablaze. If we follow our vocation, what God wants us to do, who He created us to be, we can set the world ablaze. And it really is just a matter of whether you're willing to pour yourself out for other people, living your vocation. Whether your vocation could be a video gamer. You could play video games for your whole life, and that's what God called you to be. God calls some people to be actors and actresses. He calls some people to make coffee. He calls some people to be garbage men. He calls us to all types of vocations. But the number one call that we have is to be a Christian. And that call is exciting. You saw there was parts in that video of Pope John Paul II where he was surrounded by people, by crowds of people. That footage was taken at World Youth Day. It's an event that happens every 3 years. Millions of young people, from freshmen in high school to their mid-30s, come together to go see the Pope. Why do they do that? It's just a man. But the Pope is supposed to symbolize for us the head of our church, the head of this exciting institution that you are all part of. Gandhi once said, you guys all know who Gandhi is? He was a big spiritual leader in India. Amazing person, look him up. He was Hindu. And he once said that he would convert to Christianity in a heartbeat if he ever saw somebody who lived out their Christian vocation. He said, I love your Christ, but I don't see your Christians. Because all of us have the responsibility and the joy to try to imitate Christ. So I have two challenges for you. Two challenges for you for the rest of your life. If you do these two things on a daily basis, it makes finding out what your vocation is a lot easier. The first thing, continually try to increase your capacity to do good. What does that mean? What does capacity mean? If I have a 20-ounce glass, what's the capacity of the glass? 20 ounces. Our actions are limited by ourselves, and ourselves only, really. I can't dunk right now because I'm out of shape because I eat McDonald's all the time. I used to be able to, but I lost that capacity because I let myself go in that area. So that increasing the capacity to do good, you have to actually work on it. You have to work at it. It's like lifting weights. I can't lift 200 pounds anymore. I used to be able to, but I don't work out that much anymore. I lost that ability. Doing good is the exact same thing. Increase your capacity to do good. And this is what Father Martins was talking about, what the video was talking about in terms of being surrounded by God. He talked about praying the rosary every day. He talked about going to Mass every day. Those are some things, some spiritual things, which can help increase your capacity to do good. Then start doing little actions. Start smiling at that old woman you walk past in the street who looks sad. Start telling your mom you love her when she's stressed out and yelling at everybody. Give your dad a back massage or a shoulder massage when he's freaking out from work. Little things. Pick up garbage on the floor. St. Teresa of Lisieux, she used to carry around 10 beads in her pocket. She would transfer them from one pocket to the other for every little action of love that she did. And the things were so small, nobody else would think of them. You know, somebody dropped their napkin when they were going to throw it away. Somebody left their plate on the table. You know, nobody dried the last 5 dishes. Things like that. She did them, telling herself, I'm doing this, even though I don't want to do it, to increase my capacity to do good. Why? Because I love God, and God calls me to be a Christian. Each one of you, and I cannot stress this enough, individually, has the ability to change people's lives. And the more you increase your capacity to do good, the more people you can affect. I can point to a couple different people in my life, from junior high on, that significantly changed who I am. I can point to a couple different people in my siblings' lives that physically saved their lives, that spiritually saved their lives. I can point to people right now that are helping people recover from getting out of jail. I can point to people right now that are helping homeless people find shelter, find jobs. Those are bigger things. Those are things that, you know, they're kind of hard to do unless you have a big capacity to do good. I don't know what all of your capacities to do good are right now. Just like that 20-ounce glass. Maybe they're 12 ounces, maybe they're 6 ounces. My challenge to you is make it bigger. Whatever your religion is, whatever anyone's religion is, they respect doing good for others. It's inspiring. Be inspiring. Stand out. Do not be afraid to stand out by doing good. We all want people to look at us and like us. It's natural. It's part of human nature. And a lot of what we do on a day-to-day basis is because we're scared that person isn't going to like us, or that person is going to like us, or, oh my gosh, that really cute guy from like the 10th grade, he definitely looked at me. I think he liked my pants. I'm definitely going to buy these pants again. You know, things like that go through our heads. Because we want people to like us. But if you want somebody to look at you and not just like you, but say, I want to be like you, increase your capacity to do good. And the second thing goes along with that. Give of yourself every day. Give of yourself every day. The more you give of yourself, the greater your capacity to do good is. These two things are very interchangeable. Not interchangeable, intertwined. They're very intertwined. Giving of yourself every day, you start with little things. And the more you do it, the more you're able to do it. Increasing your capacity to do good happens by giving of yourself. But you also have to factor in not just the physical side, because we are physical and spiritual. There's something about us that you can't see. If I ask you to describe who you are, you're not going to give me a list of your attributes. You're not going to say, I'm 5'7", I have brown hair, I have blue eyes, and I have 3 zits on my right cheek. You're not going to say that. You're going to tell me, I'm a leader, I'm good at math, I love music, Justin Bieber is terrible, I hate him, whatever it is. Those are the things you're going to tell me. Those are the things that are attached to your soul, who you are, your identity. You have to form those too. Those are formed by actions, yes, but they're also formed in silence. We are so busy. I dare you to sit in your room for 20 minutes and to be silent. No phone, no computer, no books. Just be there with yourself in your head. See what happens. It's a good exercise. You know what happens? You start thinking. Your mind might wander, yeah? It's not always a bad thing either. But in the silence is where God is able to talk to us. You know, I always questioned why the Catholic Church asked us to go to Mass every week. I always questioned when my mom made me go to Mass multiple times during the week. I always questioned why we had to pray the Rosary or why we were asked to pray the Bible. And the older I get, the more I see, the more I learn about human development, about the development of a human person, outside of religion. The more I realize how important it is for everyone to take a step back from a very busy life and to be silent and to meditate and to think, how can I be better? And that happens in Mass. That happens when you pray the Rosary. That happens when you take time and put it aside and gear it towards a God. Somebody, something that's way bigger and better and way beyond what we can even imagine. Take that time. Pour yourselves out. Give yourselves out to others throughout your weeks. At school, at home. It's the hardest to do at home. Because that's when you're the crankiest, typically, is with people that you love and love you. It's hardest to do at home. Some of the things that you can do to start are the things that you really don't want to do, like keeping your room clean, or maybe picking up the main rooms that your mom really picks up. Those are the things that I always struggle with. But I promise you, if you start doing the little things, the big things become easier. When I was 16, I organized a pro-life group in Rockford. And we were helping to feed thousands of people every month. We were helping single mothers every month get diapers, get formula, get cribs. There's no way I would have been able to do that at 15 and 16 years old if I hadn't started by doing smaller things. Now this all ties into our vocation. This is the last thing before you go. By doing these things, by increasing your capacity to do good, by pouring yourself out for others, and by taking time to be silent, you end up being closer to God, connected to God, because we do it because we love God, and we want to be the best version of ourselves that God made us to be. And listening to what your vocation is, figuring out what your vocation is a lot easier to do that. How are you supposed to hear what you're supposed to be if all you're doing is playing video games, texting, listening to One Direction, whatever it is? You're so busy. You're so busy, you can't see who you're supposed to become. And the great thing is, we have the sacraments that were specifically designed to keep us close to God on a daily basis. So if you're living a sacramental life, you're already doing part of this. If you're not, try to do it, even though